Hola, buenos días otra vez. Ok, para el 7 de enero, hoy ustedes van a hacer buenas noticias, charlas, Kahoot, el imperfecto, los verbos irregulares y leer, escribir una receta. Alright, los objetivos. Ok. Ustedes van a jugar Kahoot y también ustedes van a practicar su vocabulario de comida y aprender los verbos irregulares en el imperfecto. Ustedes van a leer y escribir una receta, a recipe. Y también, ya, ustedes van a escribir sus propias recetas. Alright. Buenas noticias. Ustedes van a pausar, por favor, y compartir buenas noticias con alguien sentado al lado de ti. Alright. Charlas. Okay. Hoy día ustedes van a hablar. Sorry, I have to keep moving this so you can see everything, hopefully. Okay. Vamos a hablar de comida. Número uno, ¿qué comas para almuerzo? Disculpa, para desayuno. ¿A qué hora comes almuerzo? ¿Te gusta comer una merienda? Una merienda, make sure you understand what this word is. Después de escuela. ¿Y qué comen tus padres para la cena? ¿Y a dónde comes la cena? The forms change, make sure you're using the right one. Todos estos están en el presente. This is the regular present tense. Important here that you're practicing el vocabulario, less important that you're practicing the imperfect or the preterite. I want you to be practicing el vocabulario. Ustedes necesitan tus listas de vocabulario to do this well, unless you magically remember all the words. In that case, beautiful. All right. Pause this, please. Make sure ustedes están haciéndolo por 4 minutos. 2 minutos ustedes van a hablar con la persona sentada al lado de ti. Después, 2 personas van a empezar. You'll get credit for this even though I'm not here, as long as everyone's written down their comments. Ustedes necesitan tus papeles para escribir tus comentarios. Again, puedes escribir 2 cosas que ellos dicen o pueden escribir estrellas y deseos. If you'd like extra, write both. All right. Siguiente. Kahoot. Ya. I already set everything up, so you can do this by yourselves, hopefully. Lo que ustedes tienen que hacer, the sub needs to go to, let me find it. Okay, Kahoot. So you are going to go to getkahoot.com, which is different than what you usually go to. Go to sign in. This is what the sub's doing, not what you're doing. But you need to make sure they understand how to do it, okay? You should be here. It logged me in automatically. But the login for you is going to be Dawson Darion 2018 at sarahhs.com. Darion should be able to do this. If he can't, he should be able to. Password is Darion Dawson. Go to my Kahoots. The Kahoot you're doing, I think there's only one there, so this shouldn't be hard to find. Unidad 5.1 vocabulario. It's all about the food vocab. You're practicing it. Sí, ustedes tienen. This should take 15, 20 minutos para hacer eso. Pause this so you can go ahead and do that. All right. Ahorita, verbos irregulares en el imperfecto. Last time we did regular verbs in the imperfect. Lo que ustedes van a hacer ahorita es hacer los verbos irregulares. So you need esta hoja de papel. It's right here. Looks like this. You should have it already. You are going to be talking about ser, ir, y ver. Looks like this. It's one-sided. Okay. Make sure you have that. Solamente 3 verbos son irregulares en el imperfecto. Unlike el pretérito, hay muchos verbos irregulares. The whole song we sang, we vine de raíz aquí, that song, all of those are regular, right? And none of them have accents. But in el imperfecto, solamente hay 3 verbos, ser, ir y ver, y nada más. Okay, so vamos a hablar de estos verbos. Conjugaciones en el imperfecto are much easier than they are in the preterite overall. The problem is that understanding when to use it is harder. So preterite conjugating is harder, understanding when to use is easier, imperfect is the opposite. Verbo irregular, ser. This is the way it goes. It looks weird. It's nothing like how it should. There's no S's anywhere. The yo form is era, tu. Sorry, this should be tu. Y is eras. El, ella, usted form is era. Nosotros éramos. Again, weird accent on the nosotros. Y ellos, ellas, ustedes eran. Okay, so make sure you're practicing that, whispering it, something. Era, eras, era, éramos, eran. El ejemplo, cuando era niño, jugaba con mi hermano todos los días. So again, you're looking for those keywords, like right here, todos los días, all of the days I did this. So you know that this is something that didn't just happen once, it was habitual, which is how you know it's the imperfect. Okay, ustedes van a escribir un cuento. You're going to be writing a story about things you did when you were little. We'll be doing that when I get back. So you want to start thinking about these things también. Tus propios ejemplos. Okay, siguiente. El verbo irregular ir. Ir, also super weird. At least there's an I though. There's an I right here. So you have iba, ibas, iba, ibamos, iban. All right. They sound funny. Again, not difficult to conjugate though. They're conjugated very normally, except for that the yo and the la usted are the same. Again, you need to just use context clues for that. So you need to write the yo or the el, ella, Maria, whoever it is, to make sure you know which one you're talking about. Okay. El ejemplo. Yo era un niño guapo y cómico. So when I was a child, I was guapo y también cómico. This describes your personality. Anything that's talking about your personality is going to be used with the imperfect. So we have the ser and estar rules that you learned about when to use those, and then on top of that, we have these new rules with the imperfect and the preterite. So we will be spending some time reviewing ser versus estar and tener a little bit when I get back, because some of you had a hard time with that on the final, so you understand how to incorporate these new rules. Okay, verbo irregular ver. Ver, this is an ER verb, and this is how it goes. Veía, veías, veía, veíamos, and veían. That's how it goes. That's how the conjugation is. Yep, say it, practice it. Ejemplo, yo veía las películas de Harry Potter, en los sábados. Okay, so sábados, more than one Saturday. I did this, so I watched Harry Potter movies more than one Saturday. So again, you know this is habitual, it happened more than once. So it would be en el imperfecto. You need the yo here, you can't just say veía, because otherwise you don't know who did it, right? It could be ella veía, usted veía, you need the yo form, so we know who is being talked about, who's the subject of the sentence. Okay, those are los tres verbos irregulares. You should have written those down up here. Lo que ustedes van a hacer siguiente is ustedes van a practicar los verbos. Okay, look over here. Ir, viajar, ser, ver, comer, tener. These are not all irregular. Some of them are and some of them aren't. You need to look and see. If they're the ones we just did, they're irregular, right? But if they're not, if they're the ones you did last class, they're regular. Viajar changes like one you learned last time, so you need to figure out which one this is. They're not all irregular. Some are regular. You need to figure out which ones are which. Go back to your work from last time. Down here, lo que ustedes tienen que hacer es dos cosas. You need to figure out which verb makes sense, so which definition. Ser, to be, ir. I'm not even going to tell you. You should already know what these mean. If you don't, look them up. Contar means to tell. That one we haven't used a lot. Y regresar is to return, like regress, go back. So you need to choose which verb you would be using in the right place. You also need to conjugate it correctly. Okay, estamos acá. So you need to finish that practice, finish your practice page, please. That needs to all be done. If you don't finish it, it needs to be done for homework. Siguiente, lo que ustedes van a hacer. Moving past the verbos, we will pick back up on el imperfecto. You're going to do a little bit for homework. We'll talk about it some more when I get back. Lo que ustedes van a hacer ahora es escribir una receta. You're writing a recipe. First, lo que ustedes van a hacer is translate the recipe that I gave you. So it's right here, and you should have this already from the sub. You're doing three things for this mini tiny project, okay? You're translating 5 puntos. Y ustedes van a planear. You're going to plan your own recipe, 5 puntos. Y escribe tu receta en tu blog, 5 puntos también, okay? The total is 15 puntos. You need to do all of these things, please. Okay, The receta that I wrote you that you're translating, you're just writing in English. I want to know that you know how to read and you understand the words. Está acá. It's here, right? También ya puse en nuestro blog. So aquí está también. If you go to our blog, right up here, padreshispanohablantes.blogspot.com. It's also here. If you need to see it here, there's a nice little picture. Yay. You need to translate that, please. So we are going back to the receta. That's the first thing you're doing. You're translating. You need to tell me what all these things are. Write los ingredientes. Write las instrucciones. That's what you're doing in yours too. You're writing it exactly like mine. You're going to have ingredients, then you're going to have a few directions, and that's it. First, please translate for me. Second, lo que ustedes van a hacer is not use Google Translate, please, because it's going to come out looking really ugly and terrible, and it's not going to make sense. So please use your own words, even if you don't think you have enough. Your words are for sure better than Google Translate words that don't make sense. Okay, usa tu lista de vocabulario. Primero, ustedes tienen que pensar en una comida. You need to think of something that's simple, please, so you're not really confused and it's not taking you forever. I made tomato sauce. It should be something super simple. Okay, it doesn't need to be an interesting, complicated food. If you can make it interesting and complicated, you should. Okay, you know who you are. All right, los ingredientes, 5 de 5.1. You need to think of 5 ingredients from here. I want vocab from this section. Don't look up random words. If you want to add like 2 extra words that you haven't learned, that's fine. All these words should be vocab words. That's what you're practicing. Siguiente. Instrucciones. Okay, this part's really, 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 really important. Pay attention. You need to write 5 oraciones, 5 verbos de 5.1. You are using the vocab verbs from 5.1. For example, there's like to fry, to boil, to chop, things like that. Those are the words you're using. You're not looking up random words, okay? Todos los verbos tienen que estar conjugados in the regular present form. See the example that I wrote you. That is the regular present usted form. LA usted. The LA usted normal present form is the to command. You're writing this in a to command. If that doesn't make sense to you because you didn't learn that a lot last year, this is the same as the directions you gave when you were doing the hablar parte del final. We're going to be learning how to do different types of commands. So this is an important introduction / review of doing commands. This is the to form, which means you are writing these all in the regular LA usted form, also called to commands. Okay. That doesn't make sense? Ask partner. All right. Escribe tu blog. Ustedes van a escribir un blog que explica todo eso. Okay, you're making your own blog. You saw my example, what it should look like. Again, go back to that if you're confused. What you need to do is you need to write la comida y los ingredientes y las instrucciones y también un dibujo. Should be a little picture. Put your little citation right here. That's all you have to do. All right, we are almost finished. Thank you for listening and being patient. All right, here's my receta again. Traduce, write it in English. Planea, I already explained that to you. You need to fill this out, okay? Don't plan it in your head. You need to actually fill this out so I can tell you planned it. If you plan it and then write it, it's going to be way easier for you than just writing it straight off. So you need to do this. This is 5 of your points. All right. Y después, escribe. The título de tu blog va a ser receta. That needs to be the title of your blog. All your blogs should have exactly the same title. You need to post it to your blog so I can see it. This needs to be done by the time I come back. So by the time I'm back, you should have already done this, please. Yay. Tu tarea. Completa classwork. Hoja de gramática en perfecto de verbos irregulares. Traduce, planea y escribe tu receta. Y tu tarea es hoja de práctico imperfecto. You should have had time to do all the classwork in class. The recipe should be done in class. All right. Here's the hoja de práctico. It looks like this. My goal, hopefully, is that by the time I come back, you already know how to conjugate in the imperfect, so we can just spend time talking about what it means. These are regular, right? I separated them for you. Regular, this is present progressive. I made an example for you right here. Okay, so you know what to do. This right here, estás haciendo, you are doing. If you were doing that in the past, it would be tú estabas. All you're doing is changing it to the imperfect form. Estabas. Then do this part right here. Finish it all, and you should be good to go. Okay? Adios. Chao. Tengas un buen día.